I'd been bankrolling my young cousin and even threw her engagement bash. But when she excluded me from guest list, I sabotaged everything and skipped town. Be me, 31-year-old Marcus. Work as an electrician in Nevada. Making decent money, not rich, but comfortable. Own my pickup truck outright. Got a solid apartment and been saving for years. Not an idiot with money unlike some people. Have a sister, Veronica, she's 28. Been the golden child since she took her first breath. Dad bounced when I was 14 and she was 11. Just me, her, and Mom Patricia ever since. Here's the part that'll make your blood boil. Basically became man of the house at 14. When Mom couldn't afford groceries, got a newspaper route. Started doing random jobs for neighbors after school. When Veronica needed new clothes for school. Because she couldn't be seen in last season's stuff. Guess who worked construction gigs after classes to pay for that? When Mom's piece of garbage car broke down every other week. Who you think learned how to fix engines? So we wouldn't have to pay some mechanic. That's right, always me. Veronica, meanwhile, has never worked a real job in her entire existence. I'm talking never, not even flipping burgers for a summer. From the time she hit puberty, she's been obsessed with being an influencer. Got like 3,000 Instagram followers, mostly thirsty dudes commenting fire emojis. Calls herself a lifestyle blogger or some nonsense. What she actually is a professional gold digger. Been living off sugar daddies since she turned 20. Mom enables this garbage because Veronica is pretty, has potential, and shouldn't have to do manual labor, like some people. Yeah, she actually said that last part about me multiple times. For the past 13 years, I've been the family ATM. Veronica needs rent money, I pay it. Mom's behind on bills, I cover them. Veronica wants to take some content creation course that costs $2,000. Well, guess who's sophisticated enough to pay for that? Kept a running total in my head of everything I've loaned them. Between rent payments, car repairs, medical bills, Veronica's shopping sprees, and various emergencies. That always seemed to happen right when Veronica wanted something expensive. They owe me just over $9,000. Have I ever seen a single dollar back? What do you think? But I'm the jerk for keeping track according to them. So last summer, Veronica starts dating this guy, Brandon. Dude's 36, works for some tech startup in Las Vegas. Drives a BMW, lives in one of those fancy downtown penthouses that cost more per month than I make in 2 months. Basically everything Veronica's been dreaming about since she discovered designer purses exist. Within 4 months of dating Brandon, Veronica's entire Instagram feed transforms completely. We're talking designer handbags, fancy restaurants, weekend trips to Lake Tahoe, the whole 9 yards. She starts posting like, finally found someone who appreciates the finer things in life. Quality over quantity always. Meanwhile, I'm still getting calls every few weeks, asking for money for various emergencies. Car payment, phone bill, some expensive face cream. That's going to boost her brand. You know, essential stuff for someone who's supposedly dating a rich guy. But here's where Veronica's true colors really start showing. The moment she moves in with Brandon after dating for 7 months. Because she's brilliant, she starts acting like she's royalty. Suddenly, she's too good for family dinners at Olive Garden. She starts talking about elevating her social circle and maintaining her image and surrounding herself with successful people. Translation: her blue-collar family is an embarrassment. She stops calling me, except when she needs money. She starts posting inspirational quotes about cutting toxic people out of your life and upgrading your energy. Real subtle, right? The worst part? She starts bringing Brandon around for family dinners. You can tell he's looking down on all of us. Dude shows up in a $600 button-down shirt to Mom's tiny apartment, spends the whole time talking about his startup and how he's disrupting the industry. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there in my work jeans. After pulling a 12-hour shift, Veronica keeps making comments about how I should dress nicer and expand my vocabulary, but I bite my tongue because family, right? Because that's what I always do. Be the bigger person, keep the peace, don't rock the boat. 10 months into their relationship, Brandon proposes. Ring probably costs more than my truck. Veronica posts about 50 pictures of it on Instagram, with captions like, he went to K Jewelers, just kidding, he went to Cartier. Finally, someone who knows my worth. The engagement party was at some fancy country club. I wasn't invited to that either, but I found out about it through Veronica's Instagram stories. She made sure to post videos of all Brandon's successful friends, talking about their businesses and investments, while classical music played in the background. Real sophisticated. Fast forward to 4 weeks ago. I'm on my lunch break at the job site. sitting in my truck eating a sandwich, scrolling through my phone when I get this text from Veronica. "Hey, big bro, just wanted to let you know the wedding guest list is finalized. And we had to make some really tough decisions about who to invite. The venue has super limited space, and we want to keep things intimate and elegant. Hope you understand, love you so much." I read that message probably 6 times before it actually sank in. Tough decisions, limited space. I literally showed the text to my coworker Kevin, who was eating lunch next to me. "Dude," Kevin said, reading over my shoulder, "please tell me your sister didn't just uninvite you from her wedding via text message." "Nah," I said, still in denial. "There's gotta be some mistake. Maybe she sent this to the wrong person or something." But deep down I knew I'd seen this coming for months. Veronica had been dropping hints about how Brandon's family was very particular about appearances, and how she was trying to curate the perfect guest experience. She'd made comments about how she wished our family was more polished, and how embarrassing it was when people asked what her brother did for work. Apparently being a skilled tradesman who actually contributes to society wasn't good enough for Princess Veronica's Pinterest perfect wedding. I tried calling her immediately, but of course, it went straight to voicemail. Typical Veronica move. Drop a nuclear bomb and then disappear, so she doesn't have to deal with the fallout. So I called my mom instead, thinking maybe she could explain what the hell was going on. "Hi, honey," Mom answered, all cheerful and fake. "What's going on?" "Did you know Veronica isn't inviting me to her wedding?" I asked straight up. The pause. Jesus Christ. That pause told me everything I needed to know. It was just long enough for me to realize this was real, and they'd already discussed it. They'd sat down and had a conversation about excluding me, and both of them had decided I wasn't worth including. "Oh, sweetie," she said in that condescending voice she uses, when she's about to gaslight me into thinking I'm being unreasonable. You know how expensive weddings are these days. They had to make some really difficult choices about the guest list. "Mom," I said, trying to keep my voice calm, "I'm her brother. How is that a difficult choice?" "Well, you have to understand Brandon's family is very refined. They're trying to maintain a certain atmosphere for their special day. You know how you can get sometimes?" There it was. I wasn't refined enough. I wasn't sophisticated enough. I wasn't good enough. "How I can get?" I asked. "What the hell does that mean?" "Remember at Mom's birthday dinner when you got into that argument with Brandon's aunt about politics?" Veronica was so embarrassed. She just wants everything to be perfect. And you know how you are when you drink. "Oh, that argument. Some stuck-up woman was going on about how manual laborers are. What's wrong with America?" And I politely told her she was wrong. Apparently standing up for myself and my profession made me unsuitable for polite society. Mom, I had 3 beers over the course of 5 hours, and calmly explained why she was wrong. "How is that embarrassing?" "It's not about right or wrong, honey. It's about keeping things peaceful and elegant. Let me get this straight," I said, feeling my blood pressure rising. "I'm not invited to my own sister's wedding because I'm not elegant enough. It's not about elegant, it's about, well, the venue really is small and they're trying to keep costs down." "Mom," I interrupted, "I literally just saw Veronica's Instagram post yesterday showing off the venue. She's bragging about having 250 guests. How is that small?" Silence. "And another thing," I continued. "How are they keeping costs down when Veronica just posted about her $4,000 wedding dress, and the destination bachelorette party in Cabo that Brandon paid for, and the custom flowers being flown in from some fancy place in Oregon?" More silence. "Mom, I've been supporting this family financially for over a decade. I've paid Veronica's rent more times than I can count. I've covered your bills when you were short. I've fixed your cars, helped you move, been there for every crisis. But I'm not good enough to watch my sister get married. You don't need to bring up money. Why not? Let's talk about money." "How much does Veronica owe me, Mom? Just take a guess." "I don't know. $9,000. She owes me $9,000 that she's never even attempted to pay back. But I'm not refined enough to attend her wedding to some trust fund baby. You're being dramatic. It's just one day." "Just one day?" "My sister's wedding was just one day that I wasn't worthy of attending." "You know what, Mom? You're absolutely right. It is just one day. So I guess you won't mind if I make other plans that day." "What other plans?" "Don't worry about it. I'm sure you and Veronica will have a wonderful time celebrating with all the refined, sophisticated people. Hope the weather's nice." And I hung up. But this time, I wasn't just angry. I was done. Completely done with both of them. After that phone call, I sat in my truck for the rest of my lunch break, just processing everything. Here, I was the guy who'd been supporting these two, financially and emotionally, for over a decade, and they thought I was an embarrassment. They thought I wasn't good enough to be included in their lives. You know what? Fine. If they wanted to see what life was like without me, I was more than happy to show them. I spent the rest of the workday thinking about it, and by the time I got home, I had a plan. It was petty, it was expensive, and it was going to be absolutely perfect. First, I went to the bank and checked my savings account. I'd been living below my means for years, putting away money for a house down payment. The balance, $52,000. Not bad for an unsophisticated blue-collar guy who wasn't good enough for his own sister's wedding. That's when the idea really started forming. I went home and started researching. Veronica's wedding was in 4 weeks on a Sunday. I had plenty of vacation time saved up. And you know what? I deserved a real vacation. When was the last time I'd done something just for myself? I couldn't even remember. I started looking at resorts. Not just any resorts. The kind of places rich people go to flex on Instagram. The kind of places Veronica and Brandon would go for their honeymoon. The kind of places that cost more per night than I usually spend in a month. I'd actually been looking at this one incredible resort in Belize for months, just daydreaming about it after tough days at work. Adults only, all-inclusive, the works. Private villa with an infinity pool, personal butler service, gourmet meals, world-class spa treatments, private beach access. The kind of place where celebrities go to hide from paparazzi. When I called, they mentioned they'd had a last-minute cancellation. For the exact weekend I needed, must have been fate. Total cost for 2.5 weeks, $14,000. That's more than some people make in 4 months. It was definitely more than I'd ever spent on anything for myself. But you know what? I'd spent way more than that, supporting my ungrateful family over the years. I'd earned this money working 60-hour weeks in all kinds of weather, installing electrical systems for buildings that would last decades. Every dollar in that account represented hours of honest work. And if my family thought I wasn't sophisticated enough to be included in their lives, then I was going to show them exactly how sophisticated I could be. When I put my mind to it, I booked the trip for the exact same weekend as Veronica's wedding. Not the weekend before, not the weekend after, the exact same weekend. If they wanted to make a statement by excluding me, then I was going to make one right back. But I wasn't done there. See, I still had access to all the family's social media accounts and group chats, and I knew exactly when Veronica's wedding was scheduled. Down to the minute. Reception starts at 7 p.m., dinner at 8. Cake cutting at 9:30. I had some special plans for 9:30. The best part, I wasn't going to tell anyone where I was going. Let them figure it out when they saw my post from paradise. The morning of Veronica's wedding, I was already at McCarran International Airport, checking in for my first-class flight to Belize City. I'd never flown anything but economy before in my life. But you know what? I earned this. Every dollar I was spending came from years of working my ass off, while supporting people who didn't appreciate me. While Veronica was probably getting her hair and makeup done at some fancy salon, I was sipping coffee in the first-class lounge, enjoying the free breakfast buffet, and watching planes take off through floor-to-ceiling windows. About an hour before my flight, I decided to post something on Instagram. Just a simple picture of my boarding pass with the confirmation number blurred out. I'm not stupid. And the caption, some people think I'm too unsophisticated for their special events. Good thing there are other ways to spend a Sunday. It's self-care, know your worth. The reaction started immediately. My buddies from work were commenting things like, "Where are you going?" and "Yo, get it, bro." My cousin Danny, who I actually liked, commented, "This is going to be good." But the reactions I was really waiting for came about 30 minutes later. "Mom, where are you?" "Mom, Veronica's wedding is in 7 hours." "Mom, this isn't funny anymore. Call me back." I didn't respond. I was too busy enjoying the legroom in first class, and the complimentary snacks that were better than most restaurant meals I'd had. When I landed in Belize, holy shit. I thought I was prepared for luxury, but this was something else entirely. There was a guy waiting at the airport with a sign with my name on it, wearing a crisp white uniform. He led me to a black Escalade with leather seats that probably cost more than most people's cars. The drive to the resort was like something out of a movie. Winding coastal roads with the Caribbean Sea stretching out to the horizon. Tropical forests, mountains in the distance. The driver who spoke perfect English was telling me about all the activities available at the resort. Deep sea fishing, snorkeling lessons, helicopter tours, zip lining through the rainforest canopy. When we pulled up to the resort, I literally said, "Holy shit," out loud. The entrance was this gorgeous open-air lobby with marble floors, tropical plants everywhere, and a waterfall running down one wall. There were people in white uniforms everywhere, offering fresh fruit juices and cold towels. But my villa, Jesus Christ, my villa was something else. It was bigger than my apartment back home. Private infinity pool overlooking the ocean, outdoor shower surrounded by tropical plants, king-size bed with Egyptian cotton sheets, a living area with a 70-inch TV and a mini kitchen, stocked with gourmet snacks. The personal butler who came with the villa introduced himself as Roberto. Dude was probably in his 50s, spoke 4 languages, and had been working at luxury resorts for 25 years. He asked if I needed anything to get settled in. "You know what, Roberto," I said, looking out at the ocean from my private pool deck. "I want to celebrate. It's my sister's wedding day, and I wasn't invited. Because I'm apparently not sophisticated enough. So let's get sophisticated." Roberto smiled like he'd been waiting his whole life to hear those words. "I have just the thing, sir." 30 minutes later, he came back with a platter of the most incredible food I'd ever seen. Fresh ceviche made with fish caught that morning. Tropical fruits I couldn't even identify. Artisanal chocolates and fresh baked bread that smelled like heaven. "This is just the beginning," Roberto said with a grin. "Wait until you see what the executive chef has planned for dinner." By this point, it was about 6 p.m. back home. Veronica's wedding was starting in an hour. I set up my phone by the infinity pool and got ready for the main event. At exactly 7 p.m. Nevada time, 9 p.m. Belize time, I went live on Instagram. The sun was setting over the Caribbean, painting the sky in colors I didn't even know existed. I was floating in my infinity pool with the ocean stretching out to the horizon behind me. "What's up, everybody?" I said to the camera, making sure to get the incredible view in the background. "So funny story, today's my sister's wedding, but apparently I'm too unsophisticated to attend. Something about maintaining a certain atmosphere. I started getting viewers immediately. 20, 60, 120 people, more than I'd ever had before. Now I could sit at home feeling sorry for myself," I continued, "or I could show y'all what real sophistication looks like." So here we are at one of the most exclusive resorts in Belize. About to have the dinner of a lifetime? The comments were going crazy. People asking where I was, what happened, telling me this looked amazing. But I could see that Veronica and my mom had both joined the stream. They kept joining and leaving, probably freaking out. That's when Roberto appeared with a team of servers carrying what looked like enough food for 12 people. We're talking lobster tail the size of my forearm, perfectly grilled red snapper, truffle risotto, grilled vegetables that looked like art, and desserts that belonged in a museum. "This, my friends, is what you call sophisticated," I said, holding up a piece of lobster. "Caught fresh this morning, prepared by a chef who trained in France. Not exactly the kind of thing you get at Olive Garden." The viewer count kept climbing. 250, 350, 450 people watching. The comments were incredible. "Hey bro, this is amazing. Your sister is missing out. This looks way better than any wedding. You're living your best life." But I wasn't done. At exactly 9:30 p.m. Nevada time, right when Veronica would be cutting her cake, I had Roberto bring out the real surprise. The resort had a small acoustic guitar trio that performed for guests, and I'd asked them to play some beautiful Caribbean music poolside. These 3 guys showed up with classical guitars and steel drums, and started playing the most beautiful melodies I'd ever heard. "And this," I said to the camera as the musicians played behind me, "is how you celebrate when you know your true worth. Salute to everyone who's ever been told they weren't good enough." The live stream was at over 600 viewers now, comments flying by faster than I could read them. People were sharing the stream, tagging their friends, loving the guitar music. But the best part, I could see Veronica had rejoined the stream and was watching. She watched for almost 15 minutes, while I ate gourmet food and listened to live music in paradise. I ended the stream with the guitarists playing in the background, and me raising a glass of sparkling cider to the camera. Remember, family isn't about blood, it's about respect. And sometimes the people who are supposed to love you the most are the ones who respect you the least. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not enough. Peace out, beautiful people. After the stream ended, I tipped the musicians $300 cash and told them they were incredible. Then I checked my phone, 89 missed calls, 89. The messages were intense. I spent the next hour ignoring my phone and enjoying the best meal of my life, while watching the sunset over the Caribbean. Roberto had arranged for a private dinner on the beach with candles and everything. It was like something out of a movie, but curiosity finally got the better of me. And I started scrolling through the messages to see what kind of chaos my livestream had caused back home. The first text I saw was from Danny. "Dude, call me. You broke the internet, and I think you broke Veronica too." Then Mom, "Call me right now. Veronica is having a breakdown. Veronica, please answer your phone. Everything is ruined." But the messages that really caught my attention were from people who had been at the wedding. Danny, "Bro Brandon saw your live stream during the reception and started asking questions about why you weren't there." My cousin Sarah, "Brandon's parents are pissed they had no idea Veronica excluded her own brother." Danny again, "Brandon and Veronica are arguing this is getting bad. I called Danny because he was the only one I trusted to give me the straight story, without trying to guilt trip me." "Dude," he answered immediately, "you're not going to believe what happened. Your live stream caused major drama at Veronica's wedding." "What do you mean?" "Okay, so during the reception, Brandon's dad was talking to some people about family values and how important it is to stick together. Someone mentioned they saw your Instagram live stream and were asking where you were. Brandon's dad had no idea you weren't invited." "Oh shit." "So he asks Veronica where her brother is, thinking maybe you were sick or something. Veronica gets all uncomfortable and tries to change the subject, but Brandon's mom starts pressing her about it. Finally, Veronica admits she didn't invite you because the guest list was too long. And Brandon's dad is confused. He's like, 'You didn't invite your own brother to your wedding?' And Veronica tries to explain about keeping things small and elegant. But then someone shows Brandon's dad your live stream. I was grinning so hard my face hurt. No way. Dude, Brandon's dad watches your whole live stream right there at the reception. It sees you in paradise with the guitar players and everything. And he's like, 'This is the brother you said wasn't sophisticated enough?' And Veronica just starts getting defensive. It gets worse though. Brandon comes over to see what's happening. And his dad shows him the live stream too. Brandon starts asking Veronica about what you meant when you said you weren't sophisticated enough. And Veronica breaks down and admits she thought you'd be embarrassing because you're blue collar. Holy shit! Turns out Brandon actually grew up in a working class family. His dad was a plumber before he started his own company. Brandon had no idea Veronica looked down on blue-collar work. He starts asking about your job, and when he finds out you make good money as a skilled electrician, he's like, "What the hell is wrong with you? That's honest work and that's good money." Then someone mentions that you've been supporting Veronica financially for years. And Brandon gets really upset. Gets upset how? He starts questioning Veronica in front of his parents about how she's been using you, and how wrong it was to exclude her own brother. Veronica tries to defend herself, saying she was just trying to maintain a certain image. And Brandon's like, "What kind of person cares more about image than family?" This was better than I could have ever imagined. Then what happened? Brandon tells Veronica he needs some air and wants to talk privately. They go outside and have this huge argument. People could hear them yelling from inside the reception hall. Brandon comes back in about 30 minutes later, looking really upset, and announces that he and Veronica need to take some time to think about things, and that the reception is ending early. No way. Veronica comes back in crying. Brandon's family starts packing up, and half the guests leave within an hour. The whole thing just fell apart. Veronica's standing there with her ruined wedding, and meanwhile you're in Belize living like a king. Did Brandon actually call off the wedding completely? Not officially that night, but let's just say it doesn't look good for them. Brandon's been staying at his parents' house since then, and Veronica's been blowing up his phone. The rest of my vacation was absolutely incredible. I did everything. Deep sea fishing, zip-lining through the rainforest, snorkeling lessons, daily spa treatments, helicopter tours. I ate at restaurants I couldn't even pronounce the names of, and learned to appreciate wine that cost more per bottle than I used to spend on groceries in a month. But the best part was the daily updates from Danny about the chaos back home. Day 3. Brandon officially called off the engagement and asked Veronica to move out. Day 4. Brandon's family was telling everyone in their social circle exactly why the wedding fell apart. Veronica's reputation in Las Vegas was taking a hit. Day 5, Veronica started a GoFundMe called Help Me Rebuild My Life After Wedding Disaster and raised $42. $42. Day 6, Veronica posted a long Instagram story about learning hard lessons about family and realizing what really matters. The comments were brutal. People were roasting her for excluding her own brother. But the real desperation started on day 7. I was getting a massage on the beach when my phone started ringing nonstop. I'd been ignoring calls all week, but the voicemails they were leaving were getting more and more pathetic. Veronica's voice sobbing. Please call me back. I know I messed up really bad. Brandon won't answer my calls. His family hates me. I lost everything. I need my big brother right now. Please, I'm begging you. Mom's voice frantic. This whole situation is spinning out of control. People are talking about our family all over social media. You need to come home and help us fix this before it gets worse. But the one that really got me was Veronica again. I might lose Mom's apartment too. I can't pay rent without Brandon. And Mom can't afford it alone. I have nowhere to go and no money. Please, you're the only one who can help me. Oh, now they needed me. Now I was important enough to matter. On day 12 of my vacation, I was lounging by my infinity pool when I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Against my better judgment, I answered. Thank God, Veronica sobbed immediately. I've been trying to reach you for over a week. Please, I need to talk to you. What's up, Veronica? I said casually like nothing had happened. I fucked up really, really bad. Brandon left me, his family won't talk to me. I lost the apartment. I have no money, no friends, I'm sleeping on Mom's couch. And I don't know what to do. That sounds rough, I said, taking a sip of my fresh coconut water. I know I hurt you. I know I was wrong to exclude you from the wedding. I was just trying to, fit in with Brandon's family. I thought if I could just be perfect enough. How'd that work out for you? Silence except for crying. Please, she whispered. I know I don't deserve it, but I need help. I need money for rent, for food, for gas. You're the only person I have left. Everyone else thinks I'm a horrible person. Veronica, I said calmly, do you remember what you told Brandon's family about your embarrassing blue-collar brother? I didn't mean it like that. Do you remember the $9,000 you owe me that you've never even tried to pay back? I was going to pay you back after the wedding, with the gift money. Do you remember telling Mom that I wasn't sophisticated enough to attend your wedding? She was crying harder now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I was wrong about everything. I was stupid and selfish, and I hurt the one person who's always been there for me. Here's the thing. Veronica, you made it very clear that I'm not good enough to be part of your life. So why would I help you now? Because you're my brother? Because family is supposed to stick together no matter what. I actually laughed out loud at that. 1. Family is supposed to stick together. That's interesting because I seem to remember you saying something very different when you excluded me from the most important day of your life. Please, she begged. I'll do anything. I'll pay you back every penny. I'll make it up to you. I'll tell everyone how wrong I was. I'll get on my knees and apologize publicly. Veronica, you had your chance to treat me like family. You chose to treat me like an embarrassment instead. Now you get to live with that choice. But I have nowhere to go. I have no money. I haven't eaten a real meal in 4 days. Sounds like a personal problem. Maybe you should ask one of your sophisticated friends for help. I don't have any friends left. Brandon told everyone what I did, and now nobody wants anything to do with me. Well, looks like actions have consequences. Who would have thought? You can't just abandon me, I'm your sister. And you're the one who decided that didn't matter when it was convenient for you. You made your bed, Veronica, now lie in it. But what am I supposed to do? I don't know, maybe get a job. I hear restaurants are always hiring. Might be a good place to start learning about honest work. You're really going to leave me with nothing. I'm not leaving you with nothing. I'm leaving you with exactly what you thought I was worth when you planned your wedding. Nothing. And I hung up. Then I blocked her number, blocked my mom's number, and spent my last few days in Belize in absolute peace. When I got home, I found out Veronica had indeed lost Mom's apartment because she couldn't pay rent. She was staying in her car in a Target parking lot and had gotten a job at a retail store making $12 an hour. Turns out, when you have zero work experience at 28, People aren't exactly lining up to hire you. She finally got the retail job after applying to dozens of places and basically begging the manager to give her a chance. Brandon had moved on and was dating someone new, a nurse who apparently appreciated that her boyfriend came from a working-class background and had strong family values. He'd posted pictures with her, meeting his family, with captions about finding someone who shared his values about loyalty and respect. Meanwhile, I used the rest of my savings to put a down payment on a house. Got myself a nice place with a 3-car garage and a workshop where I can work on side projects. Started dating an amazing woman named Melissa who thinks it's sexy that I work with my hands and build things that last. 7 months later, I'm living my best life. I got a promotion at work. My relationship is incredible, and I've never been happier or more at peace. Veronica. Last I heard, she was still working retail and living in a studio apartment that costs more than half her income. She lost all her social media followers when the wedding disaster went viral locally, and she's apparently in therapy trying to work on herself. Mom tried reaching out a few times through other family members, but I made it clear that I'm done. Blood doesn't make you family, respect does. And I'd rather have no family than a family that doesn't respect me. The $14,000 I spent on that vacation was the best investment I ever made. Sometimes the best revenge is just showing people exactly what they lost when they decided you weren't worth keeping. And you know what the really funny part is? I found out later that Brandon's family was actually impressed by my live stream. His dad told people at his country club about the hard-working electrician, who had enough class to take the high road when his family disrespected him. Said, I showed more sophistication in that one stream than most people show in a lifetime. Veronica wanted to surround herself with successful people. Turns out she was already related to one. She just couldn't see past her own shallow bullshit to realize it. Moral of the story: don't bite the hand that feeds you. And if you're going to exclude someone from your life because they're not good enough, make sure they're not the one keeping your life together. Because when that support disappears, you might find out real quick who the sophisticated one really was.